Welcome to the Money Mentors Podcast.
This podcast is for you. So if you have a retirement question you'd like us to address, reach out to us online anytime at matsonfinancial.com. Here's some news out this week that's billed as a good thing for consumers. Many businesses are not quite happy about this. It's a new rule called Click to Cancel. Click to Cancel from the FTC. It requires businesses to make canceling a subscription or a service to be just as easy as it was signing up for it. It is kind of frustrating going through the fine print to cancel things sometimes. And it kind of made me wonder about, the products in the financial business that a lot of people are sold these days. I mean, is it hard to get out of certain things that might be sold to you, things like an annuity? And what if you need to maybe cancel your relationship with an advisor? Is that awkward too?
Yeah. I would say for us, if that time comes to where you're working with us and we've had relationships where, we're sitting across from potential clients and they said, I do want to move forward with you at Matson Financial, but I don't know how to talk about this with my advisor. And so we help them through that process. And because we understand that it's a huge decision and it's a relationship that you've built, which means you have a lot of trust there. So it's not an easy thing to really like break up or cancel that relationship. But that isn't the hard part. You're talking about the annuity side of it. That one's a little bit tricky because when it comes to an annuity, it's not something that you should do alone, period. As the investor, there are so many things for you to learn about because not all annuities are the same. There's MYGAs, which are multi-year guaranteed annuities, which are generally shorter terms. There are fixed indexed annuities. There are variable annuities. Now, we at Matson Financial don't offer all of those kinds. And, if you decide to call in and we'll do some education with you so you can learn more about those different types of annuities. But the gist of it is you want to make sure, first and foremost, what we look at is this annuity meeting a goal or a need? And if it is, great, right? That's something that with the annuity side of it, you can actually just change that agent on file. That's pretty easy to do so we can take over that relationship and continue it on. If it's something that we assess and say, we don't understand this or why it's tied back to the goals that you talked about, we don't see how it achieves that, and also the investors scratching their head like, I don't know why either, then that's something we might talk about. But there is no way you should ever get out of an annuity if it's going to put you in a worse position. We've had conversations with people who have come in and said, hey, this person told me I should just surrender, get out of this annuity completely and get this other one over here. And it's like, well, what's the reasoning behind it? And also, you're losing money over here. So is this a better position for you as the client, or is this just a commission that the agent gets to receive now? And so we've got a lot of questions, but we are also, first and foremost with Matson Financial, we're fiduciary advisors. And our goal is to make sure we're putting your interests first, like everybody just should in general. You shouldn't need a licensure to do that. This is a hot topic, and it can be hard to understand what an annuity can do for you. So you got to make sure it ties back to your goals and work with somebody on it. Ask questions.
And a lot of times when new folks come through the door and they say, I've got this annuity, they don't really understand what they have. Again, when we go through our recommendations, we're going to discuss the good. Then the red pen comes out. We're going to discuss the bad. Hey, I made this recommendation. This is why I think it's in your best interest, but don't forget that this is here. With an annuity, it may be a surrender charge, limited liquidity. It may be something else, but it's achieving this other goal that we're setting up, right? There is no silver bullet. It's not right for everybody. And I don't make annuity recommendations for everybody, only if I see that there is a need. Now, personally, I think this rule is great because I can't tell you how many times that we've
it's so hard.
Just clicked on, I'm going to watch this show, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, I don't remember signing up for HBO Max.
Whoops.
Right? Or, you sign up through Amazon Prime, and then you got to go through the online portal and try to find the subscriptions. Like it sometimes is so terribly frustrating to try to cancel those services. So I think that's great. I'm going to do it a little analogy here too. Outside of the annuities, there are plenty of other fees. Let's just focus on expense ratio. And the expense ratio is the internal cost for management of an individual, let's say mutual fund or ETF or exchange traded fund. As we're looking at your portfolio, we're going to do a full assessment and get all of that data. That data as far as what the expense ratio and what those internal costs are out there, but you got to look for it, right? So it's like that hidden cancel my subscription button only you can't cancel it, but can we reallocate the portfolio or use some different funds to achieve the same result, but also cut down on those fee loads? And most times the answer is yes. Sometimes it's 1%, sometimes it's 1.5%. Well, 1% on $500,000, that's $5,000, right? By using similar investments that just have a much lower fee load. So it's understanding, hey, my advisor fee is this, but here's all of these hidden fees or those subscriptions that just keep showing up on your credit card that you kind of forget about. Let's start trying to clean those up. And that's also a part of that first appointment, and the plan that we present is going over your current fee structure and how can we help save you money there. Sometimes we can't. They've got low cost portfolios, which is great, but there are those hidden fees that we need to take a peek at. And again, anytime we can save you money, that's really our goal.
And that transparency is so important, whether you're talking about that streaming service you just signed up for or the investments that you have. But while we're on the subject of canceling things this weekend, USA Today suggests you might want to take, say, one vacation day and simply use that time to clean up your financial life, perhaps canceling unused services, shopping around for insurance, tidying up your budget in order to create real savings for yourself. In fact, they say, this could add thousands each year to your bottom line. And I think they have a point here. I mean, most of us don't make time for this kind of chore on a regular basis, do we?
No, you're right. And this is something that Taylor and I have done recently. And you do need to take that vacation day or maybe piece it up and do like one in the spring and one in the fall as your resets for those, because life gets so crazy and it seems like so much work at the end of a work day to then dig into all of this and go through it. But I highly recommend, because for instance, we switched banks. And Lord have mercy, that is a challenge and a big feat in itself. Yeah. But that was our way to also say, all right, we actually made time on our calendars and said, we're going to block off 2 hours, sit in the room, get our computers, get our other budget tools out here, and let's go to work and make sure where we're at with things. What subscriptions can we cancel? What little things here? And I think, just by looking through your statements and having that dedicated time on your calendar, which isn't super fun vacation time, but it's necessary, and blocking it off on your calendar will do you wonders.
Yeah, I totally agree. And frankly, I kind of do have fun with it, because every time you click that cancel button after you spend an hour to try to find it, you're like, oh, there's $50 a month, right? Or there's however much. And then those things start to add up, right? So that could be more that you're saving. It could be more that you're putting away for a vacation. It could be more that you're contributing to your 401k, or it could be, hey, I'm getting closer and closer to retirement and I've got some concerns about maybe some debt. And it's, maybe just we've got a mortgage out there. If you save $200-$300 a month in all these subscriptions and these things that you're not utilizing, you kind of frankly just forgot about, that's $200 or $300 additionally you could toss on your mortgage to get that paid off a little bit sooner. So at the end of the day, it's not everybody has as much fun with it as I do, but there is a huge...
I don't know, they might start like
They might. There's a huge reward and a real financial gain that easily could stack up to be, a couple $1,000s over the course of a year. And over the course of 10 years, tens of thousands of dollars.
And that's something too with a part of our Mattson Financial Enhanced Retirement Plan. We have preferred providers in all sorts of different avenues. And so one of those things that we like to look at is taking a second opinion or second look at your home and auto insurance and your personal umbrella policy or things like that. And so one of our preferred providers will actually do this at no cost for review. And I've seen emails come back to say, you know what, their coverage looks really good. I wouldn't change anything. And I've seen other emails saying, this actually was a little bit lower. We would suggest this being higher. And then it gives the client the opportunity to say, at least we know where we're at, or go ahead and make that change and, make sure we're doing X, Y, Z. But that's a pretty easy lift that you get to plug into as a part of, the scope of our services.
I think another one that I saw on this list, we literally talked about this week on the way into work, which is gathering your gift cards.
Yes.
It
And
says
you know what we're going to do.
43% of Americans or consumers have at least one unused gift card.
I think we're 99% of not using gift cards.
It's just one of those things because there's no great way to, I take that back.
We didn't have a great way to organize, and we had this idea
So we went to Amazon. Naturally, when you have an
bought-
idea, you need to buy something, where do you go?
Yeah,
Amazon, right? Yeah.
For under $10, you get this wallet organizer or credit card organizer. And for us, it's going to be a gift card organizer. And it looks like it's in a little wallet.
It's like a picture,
Yep.
like a picture book, right? You
And
slide-
essentially, we're just going to put everything in there. And then when we're going out and going out to eat or going out with family and doing these things, we're going to bring that with us because it's like our little staple now to make sure they're not all hidden in a drawer. So there's another hot tip for you this weekend.
Well, and the way I was looking at it too is like, how many times do we during the course of the week forget lunch, and so we're going to go get lunch, or we're headed up north, we're going to go out to eat. Nobody really wants to make the decision on where we're going to go.
Right.
If you got your gift card book, it's like, perfect. Look,
This is where we're
we've
going.
got a gift card here. Let's go use it,
go.
right? And think about that. All of that money that you have in unused gift cards that now you're using additional money into the budget.
Yep.
Want weekly lessons from your money mentors? Yes. Hit the subscribe button now and listen every weekend on Wood Radio.
The opinions expressed in this program are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual or on any specific security. To determine which investments may be appropriate for you, consult your financial advisor prior to investing. Any past performance discussed during this program is no guarantee of future results. Fee-based financial planning and investment services are offered by Matson Financial Services, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance products and services offered through Lakeview Financial Group, LLC, Matson Financial Services, LLC, and Lakeview Financial Group are affiliated. To find out if Matson Financial Services is licensed in your state, please call 800-536-8907.